Greg Hallow was not born with the most flashy powers. He couldn't run at rapid paces or fly or have genius-level intellect. He was born with a microwave for a head. At first, he saw this as a curse. He could never be able to smell, hear, or taste. He survives by eating, quote-unquote, electricity. More of absorbing, but we'll get back. Eating is what his marketing team calls it. Later, it became apparent that he could also breathe underwater as he grew fins from his forearms and legs. And he could produce some sort of acid that not only burnt enemies and everyone who touches it, but could act as a cure for many diseases when diluted in water, which somewhat links to his ability to breathe underwater. But he can also, as bizarre as his power is, control microwaves. No comment on that. Now, at first, scientists thought these random assortment of powers was some cruel joke by a higher power. But you see, having no senses, apart from touch, led him to have a bizarre super sense. As it's been dubbed by his marketing team, that lets him see in much deeper water than most seafaring heroes. If there's one thing that I can learn from Greg Hallow is that I don't need the best or most flashy abilities to do effective hero work. Now, this was a joke piece, but I think it's turned out really well, probably the second best in the episode. I really like the lore, the message behind his character, and I really like how the acid turned out and the electrical sparks around his microwave head. I think I could have gone a bit more detailed on the microwave that he's floating, but that wasn't meant to be the focus, so I kind of just made it a bit less detailed than the head. I like how the legs kind of go up in a triangle towards his head, and his arm being next to it kind of brings a bit more less attention away to the acid and just kind of flows quite nicely. I think in a few years this will be a piece that I look back on and go, yeah, that was a piece I made. And yeah, it was sure as a piece I made. And I don't really have anything else to say, but I don't really want to make you listen to nothing whilst I finish it off, so I guess I will explain more about the world that this guy lives in and the narrator. So the narrator is a 12-year-old kid called Dax who just got powers, which is bizarre in his world because you're either born with powers or you're born without powers, and there's no in between. But he's recently gotten powers at age 12, which is bizarre. None to say the least. And I have some plans for his character in the future videos. Yeah. I really like this piece, so I'm just gonna let it play on now. I hope you enjoy Microwave Man. Jack Reeves is a superhuman detective. One of the first on record says he was born in 88 BC, in what is now known as England. His abilities involve immortality, speak with the dead, power negation. His accent is hard to determine because over the years of speaking different languages and stuff, his accent has gotten all mangled. He is a superhuman detective because his powers make him ideal for crime solving. He can simply talk to the dead victim and then go arrest the monster or villain who committed the violent crime. Or he could just talk to a ghost that happened to be in the vicinity of the crime that was committed. He can still feel pain and has no healing factor, so broken limbs take the normal amount of time to heal. Even though he can stop being superhuman's abilities, he is still beaten up most of the time, as villains and monsters are still incredibly strong without their abilities. Despite this fact, he has been observed to keep fighting until the fight is over, with him as the victor, no matter the injuries he may sustain. To drown his pain, both physical and emotional, he has been spotted in his free time in a bar, getting drunk and getting into bar fights. I really like how this drawing turned out. I think the fire turned out really good on the lighter. I think the smoke turned out quite nice. I think the alcohol spilling out of the bottle was a really fun concept. I think I just really like how the drawing turns out because of the extra elements I added, more than the actual drawing of the character itself. Which is not to say it's bad, because I think I do like it, but not the best of the episode. And I think the character I created is the main reason I really like it, because the character is just so fun. I used to imagine him being like Constantine from DC, but a lot more depressed because all of his friends and family have died, you know. And here's the drawing. Now we have Smog. She is an older superhero who went missing 5 years ago, and the records, aka newspaper articles from the time, seems to suggest she's gone missing in action, aka sacrificing herself to save everybody. Not much else we know about her. Well, I know about her. Her abilities include turning into smoke, possession, levitation, intangibility, basically anything a ghost can do, plus being able to turn into smoke, including basic immortality, making her the only friend that the immortal investigator could have that wouldn't die before him, which makes her sacrifice all the more tragic. If there's one thing I can learn from her, it would be that sometimes you need to lay down your life to save everybody, and which is what being a hero is all about. Yeah, I like this drawing the most. I think this is my favourite of the episode. I think this is my favourite of the episode. I really like it. It's really good. I restarted it just so many times, though. Like, just so many times. But, like, I really took my time with it. I, like, had more time than usual, so I just, like, kept going. And also I have plans for this character in the future, which means I really wanted to get the drawing right. I didn't have to get it perfect, because I was going to redraw her, because plans. But I wanted to get it good, so that I'd have a good starting point. Yeah, this is going to run on for a very, very long time. So, I'm just going to speed it up in post, actually. I'm going to speed it up again, because the automatic speed up that Procreate has put on it is like 4 minutes long, which is fine. It just shows how much time I actually spent on this. And I did, like, so much editing. It was so bad, but I really love how it turned out, which makes all of this just so much worth it. Just so worth it, because I just really like how it turned out. Right, I'm just going to speed it up a bit so that it ends right